video. There we go. Now I'm recording for here. And we're going to be waiting to see how that goes, okay? So we're just going to see if I can get my entry here. Again, why am I doing it? I need to redraw these, but this is how I would draw my put fibs. I would use this as a high, and this is a low. Now let me draw it better. So that's why I am willing to do my short there. Okay. For the two people in here, please feel free to ask questions. How am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Etc. Etc. That's what this is for. I'm actually going to try and do one play tonight and make my entire $1,000. So I'm going to do a high probability drop, which again, we dropped here, very strong. We dropped again, very strong. I'm willing to accept this as a drop area. Give myself a couple dollars leeway in case it doesn't quite tap the line. And then I will basically ride that short all the way down into this area, which would be several $100s. So that's what I'm doing with this. As you can see, so I actually missed this pattern that popped up here, but it did go to the first target, it went to the second target, and it's trying to hit that third target now. So that's what happened there. I see that there's a couple people in on the Twitch as well. How y'all doing? Ask your questions if you have any. I'm going to try and not forget to look on there as well. So if you have any questions, ask your questions. If not, this is kind of where I'm looking at for my next play. It might take a couple minutes, it might not, right? But we're waiting. And if it starts rejecting already, I'm willing to, which it looks like it is, I'm going to wait and see what happens here at this 200 EMA, which, as we know, tends to be a bounce area or rejection. So that's what we're looking for, either the bounce or the rejection. If we do reject back down here, then that'd be great. I can go ahead and re-enter, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a little pop back up here to then create a third rejection here, and that's what I'm looking at, okay? Which again, third rejection is because we've rejected here once very strongly. I came back up to touch it and rejected. I would not be surprised to see another rejection here, okay? But I need confirmation. I need to see what's going to happen here with this 200 EMA bounce or rejection. And this may be a short live, right? I'm not going to be on here too long, but I wanted to show you guys what I'm thinking, how I'm doing some stuff, and if you have any questions, I wanted you to be able to ask them. And I'm just going to continue to do this as often as possible. Actually, I'm going to adjust this to about 50. Appreciate the light, Cliff. Means a lot. Again, if you have any questions, ask your questions. If you want me to explain any particular part of the strategy or indicators, just ask. I'm more than happy to do that for y'all as well. Until then, though, I got a short waiting right there at 50, and I'm just kind of waiting for it to come and do something. So ask your cues, and all that good stuff. Can tell in brief what my future entry strategy is? Sure. So there's several factors to what determines an entry. it's going to be previous highs, previous lows. I use FIDs a lot for entries, which means just drawing from a high and a low, and then depending on my particular bias, if I think we're going to go down or I think we're going to go up, I then draw it either from the top down, which I think then that we're going to go down, or if I think we're going to go up, I draw them from the bottom up. And basically what you're doing is you're using these lines as entry points and exits. So in this scenario, right, what I would do is I could use this fib line as an entry for a put, and then this line as an exit for my short. And that is normally how I would do it. However, I also have this 200 EMA here, which is this purple line, and this tends to be a either rejection zone or a full-on breakdown zone. So I'm looking to get some confirmation right here of what's happening, because on top of that, my 9 and my 21 EMAs are just basically sitting on top of each other. So I need a full cross like this, right, to show me that we're going down, or a full cross like this to show me that we're going up. And we haven't really had that, plus we're sitting on this EMA, plus we're sitting on this fib line. So whatever happens here is probably going to be pretty strong. I'm willing to think that it's going down. I could very well be wrong, but my bias is that we're going down, and we're going to continue to go down. I've been saying that for months now. So 9 times out of 10, if I see a big move coming, I'm going to assume we're going down right now. This Harmonics indicator basically shows you good scalps and good quick high probability plays. So in this scenario, right, it showed that we were going to go up. Immediately from that entry, we popped up and hit the first target, then we hit the second target, and we almost hit that third target. I usually do not hold past the second target. I'm telling you exactly what I'm using. I don't understand what the question is. Do I enter or exit? Like, I have particular fib settings that I've shared on my page several times. And I literally just enter on every fib and exit on the next one, depending on which way my bias is. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Does that make sense? Like, I'm playing futures, right? I'm playing NQ, Z2. I draw my fibs out and my bias is going down, then on a cross below a fib, I would enter and then exit on the next one. And then if it crossed below, I'd enter again and exit on the next one. And so on and so forth until it stopped respecting. Like, for example, if it dropped here and then did that, I wouldn't enter until I see a rejection or see some confirmation, which is what I'm waiting for here. I'm waiting for confirmation from my other indicators to show me that we're either continuing up or we're staying down. Does that not make sense? Right? So 200 EMA, 9 EMA, 21 EMA. What I'm looking for, and this is what I was trying to explain to you, is when the 9 crosses below the 21 and there's a nice decent gap, it signals shorts. When it does the opposite and it crosses above and it has a decent gap, it signals longing. So here, we basically have them just sitting on top of each other with the 200 EMA. This is why I'm hesitant to enter anything at the moment, because we don't have any type of bias. There's no bias yet for me because it's just sitting here like this. They're sitting on top of each other. I don't necessarily use volume. I'll use patterns in terms of, like, you know, heads and shoulders, a double top, right, like this double top. Maybe this is an inverse head and shoulder, so head, shoulder, shoulder would have easily shown you that we're going back up. I didn't hop on until after this had already been done to fruition. Yes, it is a 1 minute time frame. With futures, I use 1 minute or 30 second, normally staying on the 1 minute. But this harmonics indicator, and I'll show you this one, this one's very accurate. This auto harmonics patterns, right here. This one will automatically throw up like ciphers, anti-Gartleys, etc., which are based off of fib lines, and they're high probability. I think it's like 85% accurate. So basically what you do is you wait for the pattern to pop up, and you immediately jump in what it tells you, and you hold for the first target, you exit, and then 9 times out of 10, which you can see here, it does come back to touch that first target basically, and you can re-enter and then exit at the second target as well. I usually will not hold past the second target ever, and if it does happen to run to the third and fourth targets, then great, but I've secured my money already, so I'm okay. And that's how I use the harmonics. And then we also have our ATR versus DTR zone, which will show us different, basically a range of what we can expect it to basically bounce in. So what this is telling me, this range, this ADR range, is that our high is up here and our low is down here. So in terms of like where we have to go, this would kind of be the top, and this would be the bottom, and this is where you would be expecting big, kind of drastic, violent changes in the opposite direction. But in terms of building bias, right, like for me, the reason why I have the bias going down for the most part is, first of all, we had a negative like $300 day in terms of NQ, right? That's just steady going down, right? And then we basically had a large bear flag rejection, right, to form a double top, which 9 times out of 10 means that we're gonna fall down, and it's gonna be very, very, very bad. So what I'm looking for here is basically a touch back to this top area and then a drop back down to this lower area, and that's kind of where my area of interest would be. I would kind of keep entering and exiting at these lines, right, until we touch this area, and this would be my last exit somewhere right in here, and I would be watching for a breakdown under here, and once we got a breakdown under there, I would be looking at this lower ADR as my next area of interest, and then we'd be breaking down into my next golden zone of fibs, which would basically be the next area of huge drop, which would then drop us down, who knows, maybe another $100, $200, which would basically happen tomorrow, and then drive QQQ down another $7 or $8. QQQ is probably going to, and I've said this several times, I said it yesterday, I'll say it again, QQQ is more than likely going to pre-pandemic high, which is about 235-ish. So I would be highly anticipating, a drop to that area before we start seeing some real recovery in the market. But this is kind of what I'm looking at right now, guys. It looks like we can't really come up too much. We kind of formed another double top there, so I'm gonna go ahead and adjust this to 40 and hopefully get an entry here. What determines where I set my fib retracement is just, yes, you're correct. It's just a recent high and a recent low. For me, the reason I picked this, so I picked this as my high, and the reason why is because we rejected here once, we rejected here twice. That's a pretty good high, and then I picked this as my low down here, and that's pretty obvious why I picked it as my low, right? It's all the way down there. So, yeah. I could also very easily like use this as my high, right, up here, and then only drag it to here as my low, and that would make it shorter, but it's not necessarily going to. Oh, so my voice is breaking out. I'm sorry. I don't know how to stop that, Joey. I think it's just TikTok. TikTok has been really weird with me lately. I can't figure out how to actually like share my own screen, so I'm literally holding my phone up to the screen, which is pretty fucking annoying. But I do have Twitch going as well, which if you want to join up on Twitch, you can see and hear a lot better, more than likely, what's going on. But you can join the Twitch and see what's going on Twitch as well. And I'm recording it, so you can always see what I'm talking about on YouTube later. And it won't be breaking out because I have a decent, blah, blah, blah. I have a decent mic and all that jazz. So I am sorry, though, if it is breaking up on here. And if you have any more questions, I appreciate your questions, by the way, Joey. Those questions are very good questions. It helps me kind of gauge what you guys need me to talk about. So I have been talking about on every live so far, like how I use these in tandem, right? How I go about picking my entries and my exits. And if the more of you that have that question, it helps me understand that that's exactly what y'all need. So, feel free to keep asking those types of questions. But I am on Twitch. Twitch is going to be Hozkala_trading, if that is somewhere you want to take a look at. Feel free. Again, same thing with the YouTube. That's also my my YouTube is also Hozkala_trading. Here we go. So, or just Hozkala trading. I post as many of these as I can when I record them. I forgot to record yesterday, so I wasn't able to put it on. But today I am recording. Do I use tape or order flow? A lot of times, what I will use, Joey, in terms of order flow when it comes to options, and I'll show you. So I have my screen, my Discord group, and we use quant feeds, and I'll use golden sweeps. And as you can see, you can see like really big orders come in, and I like to use these in terms of like SPY. Right, so SPY had a lot of bullish stuff at the end of the day, which goes to show you that we're probably going to pop up soon. Maybe even tomorrow might be a nice pop-up day, or we're due for a type of consolidation and release on this pressure. So this one is pretty cool because it tells you that there's not a real bias. It's just somebody kind of like what's the word that I'm looking for? They're hedging or something of that nature, right? Again, here, mid-market, somebody was hedging. This one tells you, this is bullish. So we saw a lot of bullish sentiment today, and they were expiring somewhere in mid-October. So that goes to show you that somebody's expecting a nice, decent relief, whether it was just, what was it, earlier today when we had this, right? Whether it was this relief that they were expecting and they ended up selling it, or they're expecting more relief coming into tomorrow. We won't know until tomorrow, right? But we do know that had you entered on those alerts, you would have caught all of this. So I did enter my little put here. Again, the way that I'm going to play this is, since I entered here, I'm going to use I try and do about $5 per trade. So we did 40 was my entry, so 35 would be my exit. If I can get it. If not, I'm more than happy with like 40 or 50 bucks. I may even just secure it there. But it looks like I'm gonna get, so we're at 70 bucks, 80 bucks, 40 bucks. Oh, back down to negative. I should have secured it, but it's okay. Back at 10, 30, 40, 45. I'm gonna go ahead and take that. So we just secured a little $45 gain, right? Nothing crazy. Let me go ahead and take that out of there before I get messed up. And then what I'll go ahead and do is I'll put another one right here where we kind of keep seeing a lot of, we've basically touched right here and rejected several times. So I'm looking at that. The one thing that scares me is we are building some pressure right here, and this pressure could absolutely release upwards. And if that's the case, I will get an entry, and then I'll have to average down somewhere around here, and that's fine. I'm more than happy to do that. But I in terms of futures, by the way, Joey, I like to use, and this is something that my Discord partner kind of put me onto, but volume profile is very, very, very helpful when it comes to futures on a 1 minute. And how many trades do I take round trip on minis? So I'm doing the straight mini NASDAQ, right? I'll do about one contract at a time unless I'm averaging down. I'll average down as much as necessary until it reverses back in basically my favor. But I've quite literally done well over, 15, 20, I've done 100 trades in 24 hours, 200 trades in 24 hours before. It's about seeing how we're ranging. So in this scenario, right, I see that we're ranging quite a bit here. And then just taking what you're seeing, right? Like for me, that could be $40, it could be $20, it could be $100 or $200, but whatever it is that I keep seeing, I'm gonna just keep taking consistently until I hit my goal for the day, which is normally for me $1,000. So that's how I like to do things. Should you use extended hours on your charts or regular hours? If you're playing futures, there's nothing you can do about using extended or regular. You've got to use extended. But if you're just trading like options, QQQ, you should be on the 15-minute regular hours. Period. I do not use extended hours because there's nothing you can do about extended hours. At the end of the day, when you're playing options, there's nothing you can do about it. So stressing yourself about the extended hours is not going to assist you in any way, shape, or form. And seeing that movement isn't going to help you either. So, I got my entry on that put, or short, I should say. I got my sell. So, my entry is there at 45. My sell is going to be at 40. So, currently down. We'll see how this goes. I'm not really stressed about it. Y'all saw last night there was a couple times where I was down almost $500 and I just averaged down because I know where to average down at because of these fib lines. And you just average down and get your area about halfway between and you'll get your exit. So I've been down well over $3,000 before and then sold it for $2,000. So it's about just understanding where to do your average down and stuff. Time frame for futures is going to be your 1 minute or your 30 second. I'm on the 1 minute right now for futures, but in terms of options, you want to do 15 minute, 1 day 15 minute. So it looks like that pressure might be releasing up, and if that's the case, since 45 was where I entered, 60 is going to be where I will do another basically short if I get that opportunity. And if not, then my short, which now it's reversing back, will be sold right there at the 40. What broker do I use for futures? So that's a great question. I actually do funded futures accounts, which in my opinion is 100% better than using your own money because of the crazy risk involved with futures. You want to give yourself basically a type of risk management that doesn't take away from the money that you're making, which with doing this, so what I do is I use Top Step, okay? And basically what happens is they give you 2 levels. So you have step 1 and step 2. I already did this. Step 2, this is already funded. I've already beaten it and done everything. I'm just waiting for this last one to be finished. I have 3 full funded accounts now.
I had 2. This was my 3rd one. And let's see. Basically, what ends up happening is you hit your goals. They give you a funded account. So I did mine for 100,000. Basically, what'll happen is they'll give me $100,000. I get to play that, and they net 10% of my wins, and I get 90% of my wins, and that's how that goes. And it connects via here. I already finished my trading for the day, so I'm just paper trading while I show you guys this stuff. I'm on the 100K approval for Top Step. So I have 3 100K approvals for Top Step now. And basically what I try and do is I try to make 100,000. I try to make $1,000 a day on each of them. And then once I've done that, I hop on my live and I paper trade with you guys to show you like how I go about making my trades on a normal basis so that you can see how I play things and how I do stuff. Okay? And I've shown y'all in the different TikToks that I definitely have made my $1,000 a day, so it's not like I'm bullshitting or anything like that, right? So as you can see, we're right there. I'm about to just accept. Oh, okay, it already sold on its own. I didn't get a chance, so I'm gonna move down that to 50 in case I get another entry. But we ended up making $100. So far, what we've made today is 45 and 100. So it's $145. Put that into perspective for you guys. $250 a day in futures is somebody's salary. That's about $40,000 to $40,000 to $50,000. Oh man, I'm trading anytime futures are open, buddy. So the way that I like to trade is I'm in Texas, so I trade in Central Time. So what I'll do is I'll wake up, I'll wait. I won't trade for the first few hours of U.S. market hours. I'll start trading at around 10 a.m. or maybe 9 at the earliest. I'll start trading, but about 10:30 a.m. I'll hop on. I'll start trading. I'll go ahead and make my trades, get like maybe $400 or $500, maybe even $1,000 for the day. Stop. Then 5 o'clock rolls around when it opens again after 3 p.m. 5 o'clock rolls around, it opens up again, and then I'll go ahead and maybe start trading around 6, 7 p.m. Make the rest of my money, like make another $500 to $1,000, and then an hour or two later, I will hop on here and live trade with you guys. So if I hadn't made, for example, if I didn't make my money by 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or whatever, I would just get off and then maybe get back on at around 10 p.m. and trade till about midnight. I've traded as late as like 3 or 4 p.m. before. 3 or 4 a.m. So it's really just about like, have I hit my targets? Am I seeing good setups, right? Like it's not so much about what time it is. It's more so about like, what's the chart doing? Do I still need to make some money? Blah, blah, blah. But as of right now, I'm waiting for this kind of touchback here. We've made $145. If we get 250, that's give or take around 40 grand a year. You can make an extra 40 grand a year. You're probably pretty happy. So for me, what I try and do is if I can make $1,000 a day on the 3 different accounts that I have, then I can net give or take $500 to $1 million a year extra. So that's how I do it. Beach bums, may I offer you some advice? And this advice may not be what you're looking to hear, but it's what you need to hear. Be happy with what you're getting. 5%, a couple percent, whatever it is that you happen to be selling at, if that's what you're consistently taking and it's working for you where you're consistently getting it, then be happy with that. Because if you keep holding for longer, and I tell this to everybody that I come across, if you go about securing your gains at 5 or 10% consistently over and over again, you'll be a lot happier in the long term than if you try and secure basically 20, 30, 40, 50, 100%, right? Because 9 times out of 10, what ends up happening is, it sucks watching something go from 5% to 100%. Right? It really does suck seeing that happen. But what also sucks is seeing something go from 5 or 10% and then go down negative 30%, 40%, 50%. And you're sitting there praying and hoping that it'll recover and go up at least to 5 or 10% again so you can get out. But you don't get it. And then you end up blowing your portfolio up, right? So the best thing that I can recommend to you is be happy with that 5%, be happy with that 10%, and just continue to rack it up, because that's how you're going to be successful in the long run. And I promise you, as someone who's done it both ways, that's how you want to do it. So I'm about to just accept this at $50 because that was a good little play. So now we've gotten, it ended up being 35. So we've gotten 45, 35, and 100. Now, let me see. So I usually avoid the first hour, 2 hours of the U.S. stock being open. Yes, 100%. That's if you don't want to get chopped up and stopped out, et cetera, not playing that initial hour or two of the U.S. is paramount to being successful. What platform do I use? Yes, TradingView is what I'm using. TradingView, not just, I don't have the highest premium level. I have the Pro Plus, so the one right underneath it. But it's very, very, very good. It has a lot of indicators that you can use. You can connect a lot of different trading platforms to it and trade off of it. Like if you wanted to trade just shares of stuff, which is how I recommend starting out, instead of trading with options first, you should try trading TQQQ and SQQQ shares, which would basically be your QQQ options, but less risky. And you can go ahead and trade, like if you had an Alpaca account, you could trade those shares straight on TradingView, which is great. And yes, I do like the squeeze indicator. I don't necessarily like it for trying to gauge like what direction it's going to go in. Like I'm never going to use this to be like, oh, it's going to drive it up. What basically the way I'm going to use this is going to be like, hey, pressure's building. I need to be very aware of what's going to happen. You know, right? That pressure was building really strong right here at this 200, right? So I would be looking very hard at like these bounces and everything and trying to secure gains based off of these movements, because this is showing me that there's a lot of pressure, or maybe even not getting in anything until that pressure has shown me where it wanted to go. Because there's a lot of times where you'll see a big move, right? You see a big move down and then you get the move up. That gets back up. And when you get that move up, you then get some moves back down that then correlates with that. So don't stress about like trying to catch every single one, right? Like it's not about that. It's about getting the high probability stuff and just securing your money over and over again, right? Like I'm securing little bitty plays over and over again. If I can secure $50 again, I'll be really happy. I'll probably move this to about $47.50, and hopefully I can secure another little gain here. And if not, then I'll have to average down. And if I have to average down, it'll be somewhere right around here, because this target is right there. Do I use divergence? I do not, but my partner in Discord, he does use like bullish and bearish divergences a lot. When I say a lot, I mean a lot. He does use them a lot, and he's very successful with them. I just don't happen to use them myself. And yeah, man, if I can say one thing like to really drive home to be successful. Tertia, I'm just seeing your messages in Twitch. I want to answer what you're saying. The same principles, yes, do apply to crypto. These work for crypto just as well. But not just that. Is there a list of my indicators somewhere? If you go to my TikTok, you'll be able to see all of basically what I do on TikTok is all there. You're just gonna have to look for it. That's all. And I apologize in advance. I know I got a lot of videos. It is what it is. So we just secured another $60, right? So 90, so basically you can say $240, right? So we're basically at that salary point now. And yeah, I'm so sorry, Tertia. I just now saw your stuff, but if you have any other questions, please ask. I'm gonna look on here every couple minutes now to make sure that I don't miss you again. And yeah, Joey, the home runs is really, 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 really going to be a problem. Like trying to get all those home runs is going to be where basically what ends up happening to a lot of people, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is basically you get one, 2 steps forward, 5 steps back. You get that home run, but then right after that home run, you get knocked out. Right? And not only do you get knocked out, so you'll have, like, let's say you make $200 in a home run, and then and then that $200 ends up, in the next trade you're down $400 or $500, and now you're trying to revenge trade, and in that revenge trade you're now down another $200. So now you're overall $600 down, and it's just a shit show, right? And it sucks. It really does suck, but it teaches you valuable lessons in the long run, which is, hey, go ahead and take your 5%, your 10% that you've been consistently hitting, because I guarantee you, once you go ahead and you acknowledge that like, hey, it has been hitting this consistently over and over. You know what I mean? It's hit this over and over and over again. Why am I not taking it? You'll start being a little bit more like, I should just probably take this. I should probably just take this. And then you will, right? You will just take it. And you'll be okay. So like, I'm currently down on one of the shorts that I have. Basically what I'm looking at is like this recent high right here to be my turnaround area, and that's where I would average down, and then again I would look for another spot maybe right here to average down again. So just blew through it, so I'm willing to average down one more time at 70, basically 5, yeah, 75. I'll do 74, and if we get it, we get it. If not, then that's cool, because I'm pretty sure that I will get my exit of around 57.50. I'm pretty sure I can get it. So, and last night, I had several plays that did this or whatever, and we ended up getting out of them just fine. So I'm not too worried. My bias is still going down. Still believe we're going to head down. We might get some relief in general tomorrow going up, but overall we should probably stay down. Like maybe we get some relief tomorrow for let's say Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, redness, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I'm not too stressed about being down on this short right now. It's already starting to try and reverse back in my direction. So yeah, man, I was actually holding a short, and I'll show you guys. So in our group, I'm doing like a little $100 account challenge, right? So the first day, and I'll show you, was here, where we started with 100. We ended up, sorry, my phone is getting a little. So we ended up going to $119 after the first day. Then 122, then 128, then 135, and then today, because so let's see, I ended up getting in a call at the beginning of the day yesterday, and then we got in a put right here, and I ended up getting them at 102, and they ended up going as low as like 60.6, And I let them know, like, hey, normally it's hitting my stop loss or passing it, like I'd get out, but personally, I'm gonna hold this because I think that, we're basically in a bull trap. And I said, just so you know, I'm still holding it. Might regret it. I already was at the time. And then I woke up to see that it sold for 130 after being at basically 60. So it doubled overnight because of that huge drop. And then we ended up, I like deposited maybe an extra $40, so ended up being pretty good. I will let you know, no, the Discord isn't free. It's $15 a month. I'm not trying to get you to join it or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you that, like, yes, it was really bloody. I expected it to be bloody, and I got in that put because I expected it to be bloody. But don't feel like you have to join. I'm still going to do all my free stuff here. I'm still going to continue to do this stuff. But $15 a month basically gets you access to me to answer any of your questions, or do live stuff for you whenever you need. Blah blah blah. Also, we upload a lot of like study type content and things of that nature on there. So like, it really just depends on what it is that I'm gonna go ahead and move this to there because that looks too good. Put it right there. So we actually ended up getting a deep crab harmonics indicator that's showing that we should go down to here. So I'm gonna go ahead and trust it. As you can see, we're down a little bit, but we'll probably end up being up around $300 or so after this is all done. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, beach bums. No, it's not free, but it is as free as we could make it free to kind of like adjust for our time. Because realistically, the reason why it isn't free, and this is, I think you'll understand it as soon as I tell you, is it makes a lot more sense to make it just a little bit so that people who aren't serious, right? Because there's a lot of people who act like they want to learn, or they do this, that, and the other, and they really don't, or they don't want to put forth that effort. And at least if you make it a little bit, someone who is actually motivated is willing to pay like $15 for the month, basically. That's kind of my thought process behind it. I could be wrong, but it's worked out so far. So we're a little green now. We're at $100 ish. I might go ahead and let her go here shortly. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it at 57. Yeah, go ahead and let that go. So now we are at, so I made an extra 125, so we're basically at $350 now, give or take. And what are my patterns that I like on the harmonics? I will actually show you, my friend. So on this indicator, you can scroll down, and these are the ones that I like the most. So for me, the Gartley, the Cipher is the best one, 100%. Cipher is the 100% best one. Cipher, then Gartley, then Crab and Deep Crab are probably really solid, but then anti-wise, realistically, the one I like the most is going to be your anti-Cipher, and then your anti-Gartley is really, really strong. But other than that, I do not like anything else. Fills this time of day are usually pretty solid. Mr. 999 time. The only difference is, besides, like, so during the day, you might get some that are like, if my sell order is at 74 right there, you need to go to 74.25 right now for it to fill. But during the day, it can also go, like, it can be 25 cents below and it'll actually fill instead. The indicator that I was just showing you is this one right here, Auto Harmonic Patterns, and this is the guy who made it. I've probably, when I first started using this was like at 4,000. I've probably gotten over 1,000 people to use this indicator myself, just from my TikToks alone. So this thing is the shit. If I could tell you just to use one indicator that will basically tell you exactly what to do without you needing to know anything else or do anything else, this is the fucking one, guys. Auto Harmonic Patterns. It uses fit patterns. It tells you, I mean, this thing told me to enter, and it went and it touched this first target like butter, right? There was no reason to not trust it. This is like 80 to 90% accurate almost every time. So if there's anything that I could basically show you in terms of like, hey, there's an indicator out there that can tell you exactly what to do so you don't have to stress and blah blah blah. This is the one. This is the fucking one. Okay, let me check Twitch, see if anybody's asked any questions there. Where's my shit? There it is. Oh, there we go. Default settings on the auto thing. Yes, it is default settings, Tertia. The only thing that I change are the actual patterns that I keep on here, which are these ones right here. If you want to take a screenshot or whatever it is that you might want to do, go ahead and do that. But these are the only patterns that I keep on here. Everything else is not good. You do not want the other ones. Those are going to make your probability of these working out for you go lower and lower. The only other one that I would maybe have on that I don't have is this butterfly. It tends to be like 50-50, but that wasn't enough for me, so I took it off. Oh, cool beans. Do y'all have any other questions? Do y'all want me to look at anything? I've basically made about $300-400 while being on here with you guys, showing you how I do things. I haven't had a single day in the last, half of a month where I've basically gone red with my strategy. I mean, it's just about as simple as you can get. I really don't know how to dumb it down anymore for anybody. I've tried. Top step, let's see. We can actually show you what it says. So it has an area right here where it says permitted products. Let's go ahead and see. What can I trade? Best for intraday futures trading. Boom, boom, boom. So futures. It does not look like you can do any Forex. So overview, actually, Vandyman. So if this indicator is this one right here, auto harmonic patterns. If you missed anything about what I've said, please take a look at my YouTube, which is Haskala_trading, right? It's the same thing as it is here. I'm recording this session, so it will be put on YouTube, okay? So if you missed anything and you want to take a look back over the session and find something, please take a look there. It's going to have everything there for you. I've also gone over a lot of these indicators and my settings for them in my TikTok videos as well. I do know that I have a lot of stuff. I have a lot of TikTok videos. I know that. So if you don't necessarily want to go scroll through all those to find it, I don't blame you, but they are there as well. So if you have the time and you can look, you can definitely take a look there. But I will be uploading this entire session onto YouTube. And again, this indicator that I'm showing you guys right now is the auto harmonic patterns. This could literally be the only indicator you have on your chart, and it tells you exactly when to enter. It tells you where your target is, which is right here. You had one target here, you had a second target there. It went, touched that first target and went and hit the second target and started bouncing up. So I have a short up here. I already was in one here, as you can tell when it had the entry, and I sold at that first target. So we're good. What brokerage for futures? So in terms of like, if you want to use your own money, guys, realistically, yes. So yes, you can use it for gold. There are futures for gold, but realistically, what I highly recommend is do not use your own. Do not use your own. Do not use your own. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. Do not use your own money trading futures. The risk is just ridiculous. So what you want to do is you want to get something like Top Step, where you can pay a monthly fee, okay, which is like $100, $150 or something like that, to use their money. You pass a couple evaluations. You make $6,000 a couple times. You make sure that basically you show them, hey, I don't suck at trading. I know what I'm doing. And then once you pass those, they give you your 100,000 or 150,000 or whatever level that you picked. And then you trade with their money and you follow the rules so that you can be successful. and you can still make just as much money with a whole lot less risk. So I will never, I will always recommend and push using a funded futures account, because the risk is just, I can't even explain. The risk is just so much less. It's better. You don't, if you like AMC, you probably don't want me to talk about AMC. I'm gonna be quiet about that, okay? Is that indicator available on NinjaTrader? I do not believe it is available on NinjaTrader. This is one reason why I really like TradingView. It has a whole lot of different indicators. It has like tens of thousands of indicators that you can pick from, and this is one of the best ones that I found. So it looks like now we're actually having a different pattern pop up, which is popping up really late, right? But that's okay. So this overall is telling us that we're probably going to move up, and this is a consolidation downwards. So that's how you can use these. If two of them pop up in conflicting areas, so we had one that showed us we were going down, and we did that. And now this one was already there and bigger, showing that we were going to go up. And so basically what this was telling us is, hey, we were consolidating, we're probably going to move up now, which, to be honest with you, I can see it, especially with this pattern. This is an anti-Gartley, which is pretty strong. Let me go ahead and show AMC and what I think AMC is, just because you asked. Please don't be mad at me if you don't agree with my opinion. I think AMC is the absolute worst investment that you can do. All those people who are holding it and thought that it's going to go to $1,000, $10,000 per share, y'all fucked yourselves. Listening to people who don't know what they're talking about, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that you can't make your money back in some other ways. But as far as AMC goes, you've done fucked up. Now, right, just let's go ahead and look at this chart on a different time frame, a longer time frame, and you'll see what I mean. So, right, we spiked. This was a spike. We basically have random spikes in AMC, right? They're very easily attainable, very easy to see, right? So now we might see a spike back up to maybe $20 at some point. We've spiked off of this level several times, okay? So that this could be where we see another pop, but will it go back to 70 something dollars? Will it go back to 40 something dollars? I don't think so. I think that your highest value that AMC can be in terms of like just legitimate value is more than likely, give or take, around $20. Just simply put, that's just what it's worth. I mean, it's a dying company. People are doing streaming, etc. now. People don't like going to the movies anymore. People are scared to go to the movies, right? Whether it's you think somebody's going to shoot up the movie theater, whether you think you're going to get COVID or whatever, right? Like you're going to catch monkeypox or some shit. Whatever it is, people are scared to go out, right? So this is just a dying investment. I'm not going to ever recommend getting it, ever. You'll never see me recommend buy AMC, never. And that's just, they don't like, even the people who are investing in it don't understand what a shill is. They'll tell you that people who are kind of advising you not to invest in a bad investment are shilling, but really what it is they are the ones shilling it, right? Like that's what a shill is you trying to convince people to buy something, not buy something. Can you use it on Vantage Fx Platform? I'm going to be honest with you, though. I do have no fucking clue what that platform is. I've never used it before. I am sorry that I can't be more help with that one. But I've never used it, so I couldn't tell you. And Tertiary, you're very welcome. And yeah, everybody's streaming everything these days. Like, even think about it, right? Like, even Disney, when they put out their Marvel movies, right? Like, they're now starting, instead of making movies, they're starting to make shows, right? Like, instead of making a movie, they can make more money over a longer period of time if they make a show out of it. They make 6 episodes, they stretch that movie into a show, and then have you pay basically $10 a month just to see that show, right? And then the next year you're still holding on to that subscription just to see that next show. And if they can make, say they were making 5 movies a year, right? Well, now they're making 5 shows a year, and it's every other month they're able to release it, basically release a new show. Well, they can keep you on the hook, and they can make you pay a lot more for the same content, right? And that's where they're playing chess, whereas AMC and all those companies, they're dying because of it. They can't keep up with it. The only way that they could keep up would be to try and create their own streaming service, which makes no damn sense because all their stuff comes from the companies that already have streaming services, right? So they're just basically SOL. It's like Blockbuster, right? Blockbuster had its time, it had its customer base, and then something else came along, Netflix with streaming, and took that away. Redbox came along and took that away because people didn't need it anymore. And that's what's happening with AMC. That's what's happening with these movie theaters. Is you only go when you wanted the experience now, right? You only go for the experience to go take someone on a date or whatever, right? And these days everybody just wants to Netflix and chill. So you're not really going on those dates anymore. And that's where we're at. And I'm just watching. We're just gonna try and maybe make one more trade and get out of here. Made about, like I said, $300-400 now. No reason to kind of keep trading tonight. The only reason I'm still on here is if y'all have any questions or y'all want me to go over anything. And if y'all don't have any questions, I may just top out. I may not even do this trade. I'm going to go ahead and exit it, actually. Plenty of money has already been made. There's no need to push things like making a few $100s at night and then making your rest of your goal during the day when actual volume and pressure is there, is probably the way to do it. And that's how I like to do things. So if nobody has any questions, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. And again, I will try and be on here again around 10:30 a.m. In the morning. Tomorrow, I'm Central Time. If I'm not on tomorrow, please don't hate me. I'll be on Sunday at around 5 p.m. Central when markets open again, if I'm not on tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure I'll get on tomorrow because I won't be getting on in the evening since markets will be closed. So I'll get on tomorrow around 10:30 probably. And yeah, y'all are very welcome. I love doing this stuff. I love being able to see y'all get like that aha moment. Those my favorite messages are, hey, this is really good. I really appreciate the help. Those really make me happy inside. Tertia, before I go, I'm gonna say that the best time frame for the auto harmonics is literally whatever time frame you want it to be on. 1 minute is just going to be faster than the 5 minute, 5 minutes is going to be faster than the 15 minute, and so on and so forth. And yeah, so y'all have a wonderful rest of your evening. I will see y'all tomorrow morning, and keep it jiggy.